Hello and welcome to another YouTube video. This is another design team project for Daisy Collins from Tsunami Rose. I'm going with the Halloween theme for September, and I've made this journal. It's an altered book. I've just gutted the book, added texture paste and painted it with acrylics. I did have to cut down the book, so I've had to add some fabric around the edges just to reinforce it so that there's no fraying, even though a frayed look would still fit in with the Halloween theme. I've used mostly Tsunami Rose items, but I did use some scrapbook papers that I've got from Louise Thompson, and I'll just show you her card there. There's always some great deals that are available on the scrapbook papers. Is spray paints, the Tim Holtz inks, and lots of other items as well. I've even bought some wooden embellishments as well from there that I really enjoyed using on my mixed media items. Anyway, back to this. It's got a slightly curved spine. I've added some of this to give it a more vintage look. I'm afraid I can't see the screen on the tablet, so I hope I'm not off screen or going too far or too close with this. It's got an eyelet closure, lots of threads hanging up because I did do a fair bit of sewing in this, and these are all sealed off. So if you decide to cut them off, you can. There's a few altered paper clips just peeking through there, and these fibres are attached to paper clips too. It's ended up being another chunky one. Just read out the measurements to you. It's approximately 8.5 inch tall by 6 to 6 1/4 wide, and the spine is approximately 2 inches. There's 118 pages giving you 226 sides. I also want to say a quick thank you before I carry on to Debbie Beale on Journal Junkies. She sent me some beautiful napkins that were perfect for the theme. They just arrived on the weekend, so I had to add them in afterwards, and I couldn't use some of the other items she sent. So thank you very much, Debbie. Really appreciate it. I'll be putting together something for yourself. Now, I haven't been well, and on top of everything else, I've gone and sprained my wrist as well, so I'll try getting through this as quickly as I can. First page, that was a die that I bought from a crafter who was having a D-stash, and then I've just added some watercolour pencils and backed it on some black card. One of Tsunami Rose's library tickets. That's some of the scrapbook paper from Louise. Stitched on some lace there. I am still tempted to add glossy accents onto that spider to make it look a bit more 3D. I really like that. I've tried printing on some vellum as well this time. I kind of liked that effect. So I've stuck the original page on paper underneath. Most of the papers are tea stained, and I've kind of added red splodges of ink. It was a metallic red ink that I've used, and I've added some fake blood splatters as well here and there to fit in with the theme. Some places it worked well and some not so well, but I think it still works. Some baking paper inspired by Daisy with her sewing. I just had to give it a go as well, so thanks Daisy for that. That's a card and Rich's Brew. Some more scrapbook papers from my stash. Now, this is a sheet of 12 by 12 papers which I've cut down to make journaling cards. But what you could do is you could cut these up even more and use as embellishments or add it as decoration in other places. That's some vintage themed papers from Tsunami Rose again. There's a mixture of false stitching, which I've done by, I've actually sat there and drawn these on, and then this is some actual stitching with some lace. The ink did come through, but I liked the fact that I didn't have to actually try inking both sides of the page. So this, I've not actually attached it because I thought you could use it as a bookmark as well. It's printed on card. And that's one of the altered paper clips. Some squared paper, Tsunami Rose. That's some of the napkin from Debbie. An envelope with a couple of the ephemera pieces. These printed out quite large. I think I forgot to take off the setting of fit to page, so but I still liked the fact that because it's a junk journal with it sticking out, I still really liked it, and it gives you a bit more journaling space there as well. Really like how that came out. And then these are the pages that I've just shrunk down, and they actually flip up. The Tuck Spots by Rita Donnelly, and just I think it was some ribbon, or it was actually a row of all these roses from my mum's stash, and I just cut them up and added them onto each of these. I thought that looks really nice. It's a mixture of vintagey looking papers. It's another of the scrapbook papers I've cut down. That was a 12 by 12 as well. That's actually a cover, but I really like that. And I've had some fabric tipping pages as well. Amity Blooms inspired those. Love her work. Be sure to check out her YouTube page, channel. That lace that's what inspired me to start using lace into the journal. The printout on that. That's some mason jars that I've shrunk down, some vintage tags, and another postcard. Another of the flip Tuck Spots. This was inspired by Patricia and Irene. Both have YouTube channels here as well. So it's just an envelope that I folded up and added some scrapbook paper onto. That's from the napkin from Debbie again. A mason jar. This tag I've kept together so it's like a little flip book. And then you've got another postcard. I didn't glue that side down because I wanted it to be able to easily slot in and out. There's a bookmark I've added. Debbie sent me some really nice Halloween ribbon, but I'd already attached this by the time I got it. This has to be one of my favourite pages. Look at the detail of that image. It looks so realistic. I'm sorry for anyone who's arachnophobic, so that flips out. Creepy crawlies, perfect for Halloween. Pumpkins. That was a napkin that I turned into a pocket. I've added this. This is from Tsunami Rose. It's an envelope, but I haven't glued it down so that if you wanted to add anything, writing or journaling into there, it can easily be done. Some more of the ephemera. try flipping through this a bit quicker. My hand's starting to hurt again. So there's a doily there with the altered paper clips. I did some eyelash trim onto that. Another of the large mason jars, and that's just some scrapbook paper I tucked in. That's a tuck spot too. Now I've got more of the Tsunami Rose, the Daisy Collins inspired journaling cards with some stitching around the edges. This is just some of the baking paper which I folded so you can tuck something in that end and from this end too. And then I just added a bit of these lovely fibres that I got from a craft D-stash over on Facebook. I really like that effect, like I said before. I think my printer was actually running low on the yellow ink, so it's come out a bit different. You'll see another printout that I've done which has got a bit of more of the sepia style. That's a tuck spot there as well. This one's a pull-out page, so lots of space to doodle or journal on there. I did some of this pom-pom trim on because I thought it looked a bit like the spiders. And there's also some of the journal cards from the scrapbook paper and from Tsunami Rose again. Here's the one I was talking about, the sepia tone, the way it's printed. So what I've done is I've just popped in a plain card. I thought it looked like, you know, the X-ray style, so it looks like you're actually lighting up an X-ray. A napkin decoupage again from Debbie. It's the first time I've tried napkin decoupage. The other envelope that I did, I forgot to separate, so it's a 2-ply on that one, but the rest I figured it out that it's supposed to be 1-ply you're supposed to glue down. So more journaling cards, and mason jars. Napkin again, another bookmark, and this altered paper clip with a ghost. That's actually a button that I've used on this one. Another of the vellum pages. But actually it's not vellum, it's tracing paper I used. That's an example of actual stitching and false stitching combined together. Scrapbook paper and tuck spot. I really like these vintage ones. You can use them in some of your journals that doesn't have to be related to Halloween as well. Some vintage images. You can see that being used in a steampunk as well. I saw this at a local store. I couldn't resist it. I thought it would go perfectly in here. You can actually pin things on. I was thinking of adding some charms, but they didn't come through on time, so I just left them. Quite popular to pop some beads on and charms onto a garment pin and just pin it on. Scrapbook paper and the doily with the altered paper clip. I've not added anything onto that. If you've got any charms or something, you can add them on yourself. Another of the pockets, the envelope page is. All these threads are tied off, so all you'll have to do is just snip them off if it's not your thing. It's a little bit quicker. mostly a repeat after this signature. There's 3 signatures altogether. I forgot to mention that. Hidden spine stitching, 5-hole pamphlet stitch. Now what I've stitched it onto, I haven't attached to the spine, so that's what's allowing the book to lay flat like that. But I have backed it up with Tyvek, so it shouldn't rip. Extra support and strength for your journal so that it lasts a long time. Let's tick spot again. Get them backs. Another tuck spot there. That's another one of the blank papers that I've put into there. And a mixture of the scrapbook and Tsunami Rose. That's the same thing again with a different image. Those could be used as tuck spots as well. Another thing you could do with this page, if you're not liking this, is just add some tape or glue and put it together and then use it as a pocket. That'll look nice as well. You could stick a photograph in there as well, that would work. Maybe from a party you might have this year. I just thought it was nice to turn the cards around instead, so there was a bit of secret journaling spots as well. That was a printing error, but I thought it looked nice because it looks like a border instead on there. Happy accidents, as we all call it in crafting. Another bookmark. This one's got a button on that looks like a gravestone. A headstone, sorry. And some more of the napkin decoupage. Another envelope pocket. I haven't counted the tags, but as you can see, there's loads. Now, this was the idea from Carol that I said I really liked the ghost pockets, which is the same image printed twice, and then you just rip one of the papers and then stick it on, so it still looks like it's one image, but I've inked the edge so it's a bit obvious. That's just some tulle or net with some lace that I sewed on. The napkin, another of the tracing paper pages. See what I mean about the ink? Or I don't know if it's with some of the tracing paper, because I think I used 2 different tracing paper brands. The lovely orange theme going on here. I was kind of missing not using coloured papers, but there's lots of colours in here. I didn't really actually want to do anything with these papers because there's lots of collage. It's actually saving you doing a collage. You've got the pumpkins, the bats, the moon, the witches, the newspaper print. So you don't really need to do anything. It just all comes together on its own. That's the great thing about these designs by Daisy. And as I mention every time how affordable they are as well. $2.50 for it, whichever item you purchase. And it's not just one piece that you're actually purchasing. There'll be an option and a variety in that. So you'll get a few postcards, you'll get quite a few tags, you get a few different designs of mason jars. Even the pages, there's journal kits, and then there's add-ons as well. So you don't have to purchase both. If you just like the add-ons, just buy the add-ons. you just like the postcards, just get them. I've done that with a few. I'm trying to complete some journals that I've been making that I started quite a while ago, some as early as last December. And what I'm doing now is I'm just purchasing some of the items that I like, the things to do lists and postcards, and just adding them to my journal, and it's just completing the entire look. I thought it would be nice to end with that, and that's what creeps me out. I hate rats, and that looks so realistic on that bookshelf. Best Witches, that's a Tux book too. And that's the journal. I hope this hasn't carried on for too long. And be sure to check out Tsunami Rose's Etsy store, her Facebook page. She's got one where you can share your designs, a fan page as well. So if you buy any of the kits, be sure to pop over there and share what you create. Very friendly group. And look forward to seeing what you do. And I hope you look forward to seeing my next journal. I'll be doing the journal, my next design team project a little earlier, so I expect that within the next couple of weeks. Thanks for watching.